In a grand scheme of things, it's always felt like to me that the actual art of vehicle design is extremely neglected when put against nearly everything else in the overall passion of cars. The immense efforts that go behind designing a vehicle and even just appreciating iconic designs as they are tuned by people who share the same passion are really unrecognized. Whether it be video games, toy cars, real cars, anything. For some reason, it seems like despite the fact they're willing to appreciate the designs of their favorite JDM shitboxes or beefy muscle cars, when someone steps up to the plate that isn't making a real car, suddenly it's frowned upon. Real people who design real cars making vehicles that don't exist for some reason is where everyone draws the line. Why? What the fuck gives? Now to shift over to my main point. This video I am talking strictly upon cars designed for games. While companies like Hot Wheels have heavily neglected their fantasy side of things for more castings of real cars in recent, it concerns me less than the perception of them from the average range of people who play racing games. As time passes, it seems more and more like the idea of fictional cars as a whole is shunned, regarded as cheap, tacky, and many games, even ones that were once a harbor for many well-designed fake cars, have turned to D-badges. Let me start this off with saying up front, I think shitty half-assed D-badges give a much more prevalent feeling of being cheap and tacky than spending the effort to make a fake version of something that exists or just something new entirely. My first point here begins with D-badges and how much I fucking despise them. There are some cases where I don't mind letting them slide, but generally they're lame as fuck and prove how little those behind their implementation care. Debadging is cheap because it takes little to no effort. Anyone with modeling capability can go download blueprints off of Google, model a car, never put badges on it, and call it a day. It's especially more insulting when you take games like GTA 5, which used to have many fictional designs ranging from good to okay at worst, and then suddenly they put others in charge of new DLC cars, and you get this mobile game Forza Rip tier horseshit. I could forgive it if the game had already been doing that, but they look extremely out of place among the old cars. When games do this and they don't have any blatantly fictional cars, I find it easier to forgive it, especially if it's already been a staple of an existing series. Are D-badges necessarily a bad thing? Not really, their existence is fine, especially to those without any design experience or money to hire someone with it, but I almost find it disgusting there's more praise in lazily trying to pass something as fictional than to spend the effort to design something that looks like it should be a real car. The extremely positive reception of GTA 5 churning out this low-effort badge swap garbage alone is gross and once again plays back onto my original point. People really don't give a fuck about the actual art of vehicle design once it strays from real cars, and it's rather sad. One of the beauties in having a full set of low-ranging vehicles is being able to like cars that you didn't really like the real counterparts of, and vice versa. It gives you a glimpse into another world where you will like and dislike different vehicles than you do in the real one, or in some cases, like vehicles you had an appreciation for already, even more. It gives the designers the ability to extend their design ideas and creativity over existing cars, or in some cases completely original ones, maybe even mashing two or more together to make something unique. And when I say this, I'm not talking about the Team 6 garbage where you saw two different cars in half and ragneck weld them together to make an eldritch horror. I mean just taking influences and design cues from other cars. Not only this, but it gives developers the ability to have as much freedom as they please with the vehicles and damage modeling, lore implementation, and customization as well. Giving devs this freedom to do as they wish has spawned many games that are fondly remembered and still cherished to this day, most especially for some of these features even just being present that you will never find in titles like Need for Speed or Forza per se. So why is it considered cheap to hire an in-house person to mock up these cars for a modeling team? To have someone go through the effort of making new cars that are not grounds for any legal trouble just for this game or whatever all else the developer shoves them in? Why is it frowned upon to make new things? Is it just a lack of creativity in the modern racing market that just entices people to shit on these cars that don't exist because they refuse to accept new things? Is it because they played Car X once and went, this game does it so I can't everything else? Is it really just rooted in their lack of desire for something new? I fail to see what exactly makes these vehicles cheap, besides people simply just seeing anything that isn't the real deal as a bootleg or being a clone. Almost like I made a video on a similar topic for a different subject already. It could be anything really. I guess the answer would vary per person. Or maybe I'll just have a comment section flooding with 14-year-olds going, what's wrong with the new GTA cars? And some tangent about how the designs are already fine and don't need to be changed. Yeah, okay. Have some fucking creativity once in your lives. Jesus fucking Christ.